the bottom. I done suffered a lot. I deserve to be rich, headed straight to the top. Look how I ride for the block. Look how I rap for the hood. I get nothing but love now when I come through the hood. Getting this fortune and fame, money make all of us change. The new Benz is all white, call it John McCain. How the did you stop me? Why in the world would you try? I go hard forever. That's just how I'm designed. That's just how I was built. See the look in my eyes.
Getting started in about 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Let's go.
From me, but these rappers gon' lie. I'm a part of these streets to the day that I die. I wave out of the haters, man, that I finally done made it. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness. Tell me what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm missing the beat, what I'm destined to be. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. I've been through the pain and the sorrow, the struggle is nothing but love. Soldier, rider, and a survivor, and all the above, 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 all the above. It's easy to hate, it's harder to love me. Y'all don't understand, y'all quicker to judge me.
90 seconds, guys. 90 seconds in the Q&A. Put any questions you have or in the chat. Go ahead and put anything you are struggling with. We're going to start in about 90 seconds.
Picture you wearing the scar. Thank you for making me struggle. Thank you for making me grind. I perfected my hustle. Tell me the world ain't mine. You've been seeing me lately. I'm a miracle, baby. I refuse to lose. This was the ghetto that made me. I put that on my father. Trying to hope for tomorrow. When I think that I can't, I envision Obama. I envision them diamonds. I envision Ferraris. If the world was perfect, hold my behind me. Ain't you happy I made it? Then I'm making a statement. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness.
30 seconds.
Cause it's all the same. They know, and you know that grind don't stop. Just cause I rose to the top, and everybody knows my name. They know, still grinding, still hustling. No more pain, no more love, no more suffering. My ladies and my shorties and my thugs keep that cash in the sun, in the love. Yes, all the above.
All right, I'm going to stop this share. What is going on, everybody? I just want to go ahead and welcome everybody who is new here and give you guys a little taste of what we do here on every other Mondays by our role play call. My name is John Marrone, and I am the conversion specialist here with CINC. And what I want everybody to know, first off, I get this question all the time, so I'm going to just say it. You do not see anything on the screen. So yes, you just see a CINC logo. That is it. When I bring something up, I'll let you guys know and I'll share my screen. But what I want to do right now is I want you to put any kind of questions or maybe any kind of obstacles or objections you guys are facing into the chat. Now, while you guys go ahead and do that, I want to break into some mindset shifts to begin with, because we always go mindset shift and then skill set shift. But I have a question for you. Right now, where are you creating an excuse in your life? Where are you not doing something and you keep creating an excuse? Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's dialing. Maybe it's door knocking. What is it? I'm curious. In the chat, tell me, what are you currently creating an excuse for something that you know you should be doing? Put into the chat. Dialing, keep them coming. Probably gonna see a lot of people say dialing or door knocking, getting back into the gym. Love it. And this is any area of life. Cleaning my house, dialing and door knocking, keep them going. We got to have awareness first, right? Perfect. Having faith. I love that. Follow-up calls. See, I'm gonna tell you guys something. It's probably not a secret, right? Probably not a secret. But here's the thing, guys. You cannot create the life that you told your husband, your wife, your kids, yourself that you wanted to create. Right? You cannot create the life that you want if you are not willing to do some things differently. If you're not willing to finally get out of your way. You know, everything you want externally starts internally. I'll say it again. Everything you want externally starts and keeps going and ends internally. It's simple as that. Right? If you want the things externally, you have to truly work on the internal battles and how to win those. How to win those battles. Because the universe is trying to help you. But you keep going against what the universe is trying to show you, trying to give you, because you are creating excuses on why you're not holding yourself to a higher standard. Right? To a higher standard. And the excuses come many. Right? It's all about dialing. I don't have time. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, and nobody wants to talk to me. Oh, it's going to, nobody's going to pick up. All the excuses are, guys, write this down. Excuses are nothing but fear wrapped up in words. That's it. The excuses is really fear, right? It's this fear that you're scared of something. And that could be so many different things depending on what you're procrastinating on. And someone wrote in here, faith. They need to have more faith. See, faith isn't something that you just activate. Faith is something that you have to use as a lifestyle. Faith is something that you have to tap into when you want to quit. Faith is something that you got to tap into all day, every day. It's true. Right? I mean, faith isn't something you just turn on and turn off. Faith is something that you have to create as a lifestyle. So here's my message to you. If you want the house, if you want the business, if you want the money, if you want the quality of life that you say that you want, you're going to have to eliminate those excuses, but they have to start with the internal conversation. If you want to have a better conversation, then you have to have a better conversation with you. If you want to have better conversion and conversation with people, you have to have a better conversation with yourself. So whatever you're procrastinating on, it's not going anywhere. Dialing is not going anywhere. Right? Your weight loss goal is not going anywhere. Someone say cleaning their house, right? Like that's not going anywhere. Door knocking, that's not going anywhere. So you got to make the decision right now. Either you are going to stop right now and say, that's it. No more will I give in to a negative story. Okay? No more will I give in to the negative beliefs. Someone says they can't see the messages. Yeah, the messages only show, guys, to those who write it to attendees as well. So the messages aren't as important to the attendees as they are to me, so I can go ahead and conversate with you guys. Just give you the heads up. So whatever it is you're procrastinating on, you are not a procrastinator. Okay, whatever it is that you create an excuse for, you are not an excuse maker. You just have a really bad time telling a better story. And that is that. Your story is not aligning with what you want. The story that you're giving dialing right now is not aligning with what you want. So one of two things have to happen. You either change your story to change your results, or you stay in this vicious cycle of having a negative story to the things that you know you need to do in order to get to the places you need to go. Say that one more time. We're going to jump into some role playing here. One of two things has to happen. There's no way around it. One of these two things. Either A, start changing the story to the things that you're procrastinating on to change your results. Or B, you go ahead and you stay in this cycle. And you stay in this cycle of disempowering stories. Does the story align with the glory? Does it align with what you want? No matter what the fear is, the biggest thing you should be fearful of is remaining the same exact person you are today next year. That should be scarier than anything, because the external things you want in life are a byproduct to the internal conversations you have with yourself. The external things you have in your life, the external things you want in your life are simply a byproduct of the internal conversation that you have with yourself. So you want to change the external things, the results. You want to have a better quality of life, change the internal conversation in the moment. And the last thing I'll say is this. Stop trying to find motivation off of mood. Maybe you guys heard me talk about this before, but finding motivation off of mood will create massive losses in your life. Motivation is such a temporary thing. True motivation comes from meaning, not off of mood. True motivation. And it's also one of my favorite quotes is your destiny is shaped the moment the motivation leaves your body. It's what you do when you're not motivated that creates success. It's what you do when you're not motivated that creates success. Nobody's on this call, for the most part, I'm sure of it, like, oh man, I'm so excited to go ahead and call 200 people today. I'm so excited to go ahead and call 100 people today. I don't think that many people get excited to do it day in and day out. There's days where we are, right? There's days where we get excited, but on a consistent level. So Jennifer says she does it anyway, right? Yeah. But you do it anyway. It's not just because you willpowered your way to do it anyway, because you probably have a strong enough meaning why doing it anyway, no matter how negative the story is that you're telling yourself, pushes you through. So you don't necessarily just do it anyway. You tap into something bigger and something deeper, something more meaningful than what the fear is. And that's what it comes down to. You have to tap into something more meaningful than what you're scared of. So what is it for you? What's more meaningful that you could tap into every single day to win the internal battle so you can create the external success? And let's end with this, and then let's open this thing up to some conversion. But in the end, this is the beginning and the end of conversion, right? Like if you don't win this battle, like why even get on these calls if you're not going to dial? Right? And Jennifer says her bills. Yeah, and if you don't pay your bills, there's something deeper than that, right? Like it's always way deeper. Right? Oh, I do it because I have bills to pay. Well, no, you do it because if you don't pay your bills, now next thing you know, you have family, right? And all of a sudden now you have no electric. All of a sudden now you have no water. Next thing you know, you're getting kicked out of your house. So it's deeper than just the bills. But yeah, absolutely tap into that. But remember, excuses are nothing but fear wrapped up in words, AKA, right? This fear is just excuses. That's all it is. But I will tell you this, and this is, everybody needs to hear it. Get out of the way and allow the universe to do its job. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, please. Let the universe do its job. Stop being your biggest dream killer. Stop being the biggest dream killer in your life, because that's what's happening. How do you get out of your own way? You have better dialogue with yourself. How do you get out of your own way? You create better stories to the things that you are procrastinating on. How do we get out of our own way? We go ahead and we make sure that we have a deep enough meaning to push through the fear. Catherine says, is this recording or is this live? We are live. Hopefully that will prove it to you. It is 2:14 Central Time. We are live. So guys, I just wanted to drop that in there because it's this mindset shifts that need to happen. Everybody got on here. You've been on here 100 times, or this is your first time, to go ahead and learn how to convert leads better. What you need to know is how to have a better conversation with yourself. Therefore, you can create better conversations with your clients. And the other part of this is simple. Why even be on here if you're not going to dial? Right? Why even be on here if you're not going to dial? I'm just being honest. Like I just posted something on my Instagram about get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. I get it. I'm telling you, making calls is not always like comfortable. It's not always this, space of like, I'm so excited to make dials. No, but it's needed, right? But why are you stopping yourself? Well, it's simple. You're giving the task of dialing a bad story. You're giving the task, whatever it is you're procrastinating on, getting to the gym, cleaning the house, having a conversation, a negative story. So if you want the life that you say that you want, it starts internally, right? And Chuck says to get over your fears, you have to face your fear. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Fear, like literally, is something that we'll get a little nerdy here on you guys. It's something that when you think of fear, it actually goes back to our brains, which are caveman and cave women, right? Our brains are still wired that way. We have something called neurotransmitters and neural pathways. So when we feel fear, we run the other way, just like cavemen and cave women. Until you do enough deep work to know that when fear shows up in your life, fear is showing up in your life to show you what needs to be worked through most. I'm gonna say it one more time for you. Fear is showing up in your life to shine light into what you must work through most. Always remember that. Okay, always remember that. All right, so let's dive in here. If you guys got value, let me know. If that resonates with you, let me know. I want to make sure that it hit home for you guys, because I want to, every time we do this, I just want to bring in some light into the way our minds work and how to go ahead and win that battle between the ears, so we could go ahead and get on these calls and actually maximize them, be at our optimal level. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here and let's start talking about some conversion pieces, some skill set pieces, right? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So bear with me 1 second. Who here, first off, is doing any door knocking, or if you want to do door knocking, or you want to, if you want to start or get better at it, put me into the chat. Because we're going to do a little bit of buy stuff, but we're really going to talk some listing stuff today as well. Okay, cool. Majority of you guys. Boom. Yeah, Cheryl. So I haven't shared my screen just yet. Oh, Rebecca said she likes door knocking. I like that. I might have to pull you up here, do some role playing. All right, hold on. Give me a second, guys, so we can go over some stuff, some door knocking stuff, maybe too. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to pull up some door knocking stuff really quick for you. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So everybody should see this, right? It says door knocking or circle prospecting. And that's the other thing. Maybe you're not door knocking, but you could be circle prospecting. Okay, if this is for anybody, if you are currently putting a house on MLS, or you are trying to get a listing, that is you, okay? So if that is you, if you're putting a house on MLS, or you're trying to go get a listing, you better be door knocking afterwards. And if it's not allowed there, then I would go ahead and I'd be circle prospecting. So if door knocking is not allowed, you should be circle prospecting. You should be pulling the data from that local area and say, hey, by the way, we're just listing 123 Main Street over here. And I just wanted to stop by and let you know about our open house that we're having. That's going to be a VIP to neighbors only. So if you are allowed to do open houses, and someone says that they're not allowed to, if you're allowed to, which majority of places are, then you should be doing a preview, right? A VIP showing, VIP open house to neighbors only. And this is the way it sounds, right? So this is not on this script. I'm just kind of going to go ahead and give it to you guys. So I go to the guy next door and I say, hey, look, we're listing John's house over at 123 Main Street. I just want to let you know that we are going to be doing an open house from 1 to 4, but we're actually giving the opportunity for all the neighbors to preview the house first, because there's going to be a lot of people coming in and out. So we want to give you that space to be able to go in there without having to fight with all the people that are looking at it, that are going to probably put some offers in on it. So from 11 to 12, it's VIP just for you and the rest of the neighborhood. Does that sound good? Sounds good. I did a few things there, though. One of the things I did is I invited them, yes, to the open house, right? Second thing I did is now I introduced myself. Now they know me. right? Third thing I did, the big thing, is I said, because there's gonna be a lot of people coming in and out of that house, and because there's gonna be a lot of people putting offers in. So we want to make sure that you guys get in there prior, even if you just for you guys to look around and compare it with yours. I'm creating the buzz that there's going to be a lot of people. I'm creating the buzz that there's going to be offers in, because there's something that it does to the psyche of a human to know that somebody else is getting or selling, should I say, their house and creating income from it, and you may miss the boat on it. So I'm showing that we are creating a buzz around this house that is going to bring people in to put offers in, probably well over asking in today's market. And I want to tell them without telling them that they need to do the same, right? I'm going to tell them without telling them that they need to do the same. All right. So let's talk about some door knocking or circle prospecting. Once again, this is for either or. And the way you do it is more of a finding inventory mindset. Okay. Finding inventory mindset. So what I mean is that you go to the door or you circle prospect, and it sounds like this. And I'll kind of piece it together so you guys could hear it. Hey, good afternoon. My name is John with ABC Realty. Just wanted to stop by or give you a quick call, right, for calling, because we got some clients that are looking to get an offer accepted in the neighborhood, putting offers in on a bunch of beautiful homes like yours. But obviously the seller market is crazy right now. I'm sure, as you know, and a lot of people are getting some offers over asking, which probably is not going to last long. But we have some buyers that are wanting in a neighborhood. Would it be price and terms that you'd consider selling in the next 3 to 6 months? I did a few things there. Okay. I'm calling because I'm knocking because I have buyers that are looking at homes like yours, at houses like yours. And the market right now is crazy. Right? I'm bringing that up. Right? Seller market is crazy right now. And I'm sure you know that. And so many offers are going over asking, which is not going to last long. I highlighted which won't last long because what it does to the psyche, right? What it does to FOMO, what it does to create urgency. But yeah, so we have buyers that are wanting in the neighborhood. Just curious, would there be a price or terms that you'd consider selling in the next 3 to 6 months? Most of the time, they say, well, yeah, that's all I need. Like, all I need. I don't need, them to tell me exactly what they want right then and there. But yeah, there'd be something. Okay, well, what does that look like for you? Well, I'd want to get $100,000 in profit. Okay, boom. Now I have an opening. Now I can go in and talk about how we can help them create $100,000 in profit through our strategies. So I'll do it one more time, and I'm opening this thing up for any kind of questions you have as well on this aspect of door knocking or circle prospecting. Hey, good afternoon. My name is John with ABC Realty. I just want to stop by real quick. We got some clients that are looking to get an offer accepted in your neighborhood. We put offers in a bunch of beautiful homes like yours, but unfortunately with the seller market, it's crazy right now, I'm sure, as you know. So there's a lot of offers that are really going over asking, which is not going to last long. But we do have buyers that are wanting in your neighborhood. Just curious, would there be a price or terms that you'd consider selling in the next 3 to 6 months? But you have to bring up the urgency. This piece right here, which won't last long, is huge. That's huge to convert. Without this part, your conversion rate will go down. It will go down because this taps into the human psyche of getting them to have FOMO, fear of missing out. And so this part right here is huge for that. So any questions, put into the chat. I'm going to give this some time. Any questions, put it into the chat. Will we get a copy of these scripts? Yes, we will. Trying to see if there's anything else. Any questions? Going once, going twice. All right, what about? All right, so we have Addie says, what about when they worry about not being able to find something to move to? Yeah, so that's obviously a fear, right, Addie? That's a great question. And sometimes we actually project that into them. That's number one. Right? We don't know. They may have a place that they can go for a year, right? Save money, a friend's house, family members. But there's also other options, right? There's contingencies, right? There's lease back. You know, we just did 1.4 million, and there was a lease back for a year while they built their new house. So there's always an option, right? Look, I get it. I know that you're probably worried about if they bring it up about getting into a house, if you're sales or when it sells quickly. So there's a few options. Let me kind of write them down for you, and either one of these will work for you. You know, you can do a lease back, right? If there's anywhere you could move into, but what it comes down to is in this market, you know, if you're getting a high net profit from your home, and it is something that you're probably going to want to move out of in the next anywhere from 12 to 24 months, now could be probably the best time for you to maximize the amount of money you can get for it. So let's just get creative with one of our strategies on how to go ahead and find you something in the meantime, or create a contingency plan, or even a lease back. How does that sound? Okay, so that's one question answered. There we go. I feel it will last some time. So is that honest? Oh, gotcha. So I think, Catherine, you're asking, you think that the market's going to last a long time. You know, to be honest with you, like, we don't know, right? I don't think it, like, for me personally, I don't think it's going to last like this crazy for this long. I don't think it's going to die down in certain areas. Like where I live in Destin, Florida, I don't think we're going to see much of a shift, right? I don't think we see much of a shift. But if you feel like it's really not, if you feel like it's going to last long, you just change the word to say, which I really have no idea how long this is going to last. Right, Catherine? So instead of saying which won't last long, if you don't have that belief, just say, which I have no idea how much longer this thing's going to last. Because that's truthful, right? You don't know. So does that help, Catherine? Overcome that thought? All right, we got our Toronto markets already starting to see a shift, and offers are coming in being accepted with conditions. Not everything is multiple and hundreds of thousands of. Yeah, absolutely, Cheryl. So that's why the market is shifting in many places, slowly. Some places they're not. So you got to know your market, but at the same time, you do know that right now is a prime time to go ahead and get somebody's house sold for usually better terms or for a higher price. How do we get a copy of any and all CINC scripts for me and my team? If you email training at cincpro.com, training at cincpro.com. Let's see. This seems like a mouthful over the phone. Sometimes they lose interest. I keep talking off the bat. Jesse, great point. So it does seem like a mouthful. And here's the thing. Everything on here, I'm putting on here for you guys to navigate and create your flow off of, right? Create your flow off of. And for me personally, this face-to-face is not as much as a mouthful as it is on the phone. So I agree with you. But that's why the main thing is being high energy, right? High energy, letting them know, hey, look, you can keep it really simple, Jesse. Hey, this is Jesse with ABC Realty. Hey, look, we got some buyers. I'm just trying to find them a house kind of similar to yours. They're trying to get into your neighborhood, but with the market pretty crazy as it is, inventory is obviously a little low. So I'm just curious, is there anything that you would do, or anything that would help you, any price, any terms that would help you consider, selling this house, not home, in the next 3 to 6 months? So it's super conversational versus every word needs to be said on this script. It's very conversational. Look, hey, we got some buyers that have been looking in your neighborhood, but with all the crazy offers that are coming out, as well as the low inventory, I'm just trying to do them a service and reach out to the local homeowners and see if there's any chance of them selling, whether it's price or terms, in the next 3 to 6 months. Literally, it's just like almost a customer service call. Let's see. I live in a major college town where a lot of the houses are owned by investors who don't live in them. How would you approach handling door knocking in neighborhoods like that? So great question, Megan. A lot of things with that. That's going to be the circle prospecting, picking up the phone. I would find more pockets. If I'm doing door knocking, I'm going to find more pockets where I'm pulling the data and know that majority of them are living in that house and are not, renters. I'm not going to waste too much time in a highly populated rental neighborhood to do door knocking, but I will pull a list of homeowner numbers and call them with a very similar approach. But yeah, so you have to know your data, right? I'm gonna give you a small example. So here on 30A, which is the road that we live by, it's a beach road. Well, if we're gonna sell a house there, and I know that the entire neighborhood is like VRBO, right? It's they don't live there. It's second home market, and it's you know, I know they're not probably going to be there. I'm not going to go ahead and door knock because if I know 95% of the entire neighborhood that they did not live there, my energy is better positioned with calling them versus door knocking. So it's super important for you to know exactly what the demographic and what the data shows for that neighborhood. If they're not financially motivated to sell, Jason, then sometimes it's not financial, right? That's why we say terms, price, or terms. So financially motivated, that's not a huge deal, but maybe there's something else that motivates them. So that's a good question. So it's not always price, not always terms, right? I mean, it could be, hey, look, I just want to go ahead and get out of this area because it's building up too fast, and I want to get more into, the country. I want to get closer to family. I want to get closer to school, to work. So yeah, it's absolutely, even if it's not a financially motivated seller, okay? Well, if you were to sell, why would you? Very simple question, guys. They say no. Well, if you were to sell, why would you? Right? If you were to sell, why would you? So that's, to me, it's not even about necessarily the financial side, but right now that is a heavier anchor we can throw in the conversation because we know that that's right now the season we're in. Let's see. What else we got? Lee, my man, Lee. All right, Lee says, I am not going to list. Bring me a buyer and I will pay the buyer commission. Yeah, so if they say that, it's basically asking, hey, okay, so what's the goal here? Yeah, I'm going to show you my FSBO one. Okay. So the FSBO one is basically, hey, what's the goal here? Is it to make an X amount of money or be out by a certain date? Well, I want to make X amount of money. Okay, totally get it. So if we were to show you, right, I kind of have it here. I'm going to kind of highlight it for you guys. So if we could show you our strategy and if it makes sense, see there being advantage of, using someone, would you consider it, right? Because this is it right here. So if you were to get that amount, Lee, or out by a certain date, using an agent handling all those little mundane tasks, contract written up, negotiating the best deal for you, would you consider using one so you can get your time and your energy back? Oh, and by the way, make your money faster. So if we were to get you that amount, get you your 100K by using an agent, right? So their agent can handle all those mundane tasks. They could do all the contract writing up. They could do all the negotiating. They could do all those little things that are taking you time and energy away from things that you love to do or need to do. Would you consider using an agent? The whole point of it is, guys, listen, for those of you that are working with FSBOs or trying to work with FSBOs and they keep saying they don't want to pay commission, it's not about the commission. It's about the amount of money they want to make majority of the time. So it's like, okay, let's just pull out the percentage. What is the goal? How much money you want to make? I want to make 150,000. Okay, so if I were to show you how to make 150,000 while taking all the workload off of you, would you consider looking at that strategy? Right? Very simple. If I were to show you how to make 150,000, profit on your house, and take away all the energy and time suckers that it takes you as a for sale by owner, would you consider using an agent and want to hear about that strategy? And then there's a whole nother pros and cons list as well that we can go through. I'm not gonna get into the FSBO script, but right here, Lee, this is it. Because essentially, more than likely, if they're talking about commission, it's because they want to make a certain amount of money and they think by paying an agent, they're not going to make that amount of money. What they're not realizing is they probably will make that amount of money, but the time they get back, whatever it is that is their job, right? You can go ahead and put how many hours it's going to take for them to go through the whole process as a FSBO and then calculate how much money they're worth by doing that process. Does that help, Lee? Let me know. I can go ahead and break it down for a little more for you if you need me to. Let's see. Can you door knock for buyers when there are a high percentage of renters? So that's a great question, Dale. If you know that's the case and you know you're going into a high long-term rental neighborhood, you could certainly bring that up. You could definitely go ahead and be knocking for renters to go ahead and become buyers. Absolutely. I don't have a script laid out for that, but that's definitely a great technique if you are in an area that you know is highly long-term renters, but they also make X amount of money. So you know that they probably have a good enough job to actually purchase a home. All right. What other questions do you guys have? Let's see. I'm looking here. See, do you find different price points? You need to tailor your discussion. Not really. I mean, for different price points, to me, there's not much of a difference of a discussion. For the marketing piece, right? When we're listing somebody's home, that's 2 million or 3 million versus 200,000 or 300,000. We're going to put a little bit more oomph into it. And that's the other thing, guys. If you're working a big deal right now, spend the money on creating amazing marketing, because what will happen is the marketing not only obviously is going to get you more awareness into that house to sell it, but other luxury owners will see what you're doing for that luxury house and they'll want to use you. So do not go cheap on your luxury listing, because when you actually put more money into it and other luxury homeowners who want to list see it, they'll be more inclined to work with you. So let's just say it costs you whatever. Let's just say $3,000 more to do the next level of marketing and presentation and everything that you really want to do, right? From the drone to the lifestyle video, which you guys, if you're not doing lifestyle videos of creating emotion when people look at that house, you need to start doing that. But let's say it costs you $3,000. Let's say your commission is normally $20,000 on this type of home, right? This price point. So you make 17,000, not 20. But the cool part is you were more than likely, because you spent the extra money, because you went the extra mile, you will get more luxury homeowners looking at your stuff saying, I want to use her, I want to use him when listing my house. So that $3,000 for the marketing, whatever it might be, is not used just for that house. It's used to attract other luxury homeowners. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if you're with me on that. Put yes or no into the chat. Perfect. All right. So let's go. Any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and stop this share. We have 20 minutes. So what questions do we have? It could be about the listing side. It could be about the buy side. I want a little listing side this time, just because I know the market that we're in, the season that we're in. Let's capitalize that, right? Let's capitalize on it. And here's the thing. There's an art and there's a science to sales. It's pretty simple, guys. It's like there's an art and science to it. I don't care if you're on a listing side. I don't care if it's a FSBO. I don't care if it's circle prospecting. You're on a buy side, luxury, non-luxury. It doesn't make a difference. There's an art and there's a science. So there are concepts that we use in our scripts here at CINC that are proven to work, by the way. 4 years, 7,500 plus agents. But there are concepts to it that are go through and through, right? Like pain or pleasure. When you're helping somebody on the buy side, you got to dig for the pain or pleasure. On the listing side, pain or pleasure. So there are all these things that they transfer over no matter what market you're in, no matter what side of the deal you're on. These things stay the same. Let's see. Can you repeat the email address to get the scripts? Yeah. So it's training@cincpro.com. Training@cincpro.com. When and where will this be uploaded? Usually on our YouTube channel that they upload it. You could definitely ask when you email training, they'll let you know. And if you guys have any questions offline too, you guys can go ahead and definitely hit me up on Instagram. It's usually just the easiest way to connect with me and message me. My Instagram is @RealJohnMarrone. I'll put it in here just so you guys have it, just in case you guys need any extra tips, tools, or whatever it might be. There you go. Oh, wait. I got to send to you guys. So I'm putting it into the chat really quick. So if you guys need anything, you guys could just reach out to me on Instagram. Yeah, there we go. All right. So what other questions we have here? So we have another one from Adriana. So it says, just joined, and I want to ask you what to say when a homeowner says, why should I sell? It's not the place. It's not place where to go. I think you're asking when a homeowner has nowhere to go. Is that correct, Adriana? They're scared to sell because they don't know where they're going to go. Okay. Yeah, we touched on this before, so I'll kind of touch on it very quickly. It's simple. The first thing is don't put the fear in them. Sometimes we go ahead and put what we fear into our clients, right? And the universe is a mirror to our thoughts. The universe is a mirror to our thoughts. And so we can't put that out there. We can't put that on them. But if they bring it up, say, hey, look, we completely get it. There's definitely some strategies that we could use to make sure that you obviously feel comfortable with going through the transaction. So there's lease backs, there's contingencies. There's a few things that we could definitely do. Let me kind of break them down for you. Want to hear about them? Yeah, let's hear about them. Okay, perfect. And then I said it earlier. We did a deal here locally. There's a deal done for 1.4 million and then a year lease back. So you don't know, right? So you can go ahead and you can put that in there. Also, some people they know if they don't sell now in 2 years, they may not be able to get what they want for it. So sell now and make a sacrifice to, live in a parent's house for 6 months. Who knows? We don't know what we don't know. So first, let's not put that into their awareness. Second, you as the agent, hear me, need to be solution oriented. Stop bringing more problems to the transaction. Bring more solutions. Okay. Bring more solutions. And also know, like, they don't know what you know. They don't know what you know. So don't take it for granted what you know and how it could be done, because sometimes we go through an entire transaction not articulating what we know that they don't know, right? Because we're taking it for granted. Diana says, how often would you follow up with a seller when they tell you they're fixing the home and it should take a month? I don't want to leave it dormant, but I don't want to be annoying either. So if anybody says they're fixing it up, you would say, okay, perfect. Do you know what to fix up in order to get the most amount of money for your house? Because Diana, here's the thing. Sometimes people think they need to do all this work and they spend all this money, but their return on the work that they got done is nowhere near what they think it is. So sometimes it's one or two small things that can be done, and that can be done faster with less money, that brings the value up versus what most people think. So is anybody giving you a consultation of what you need to get done in order to bring most amount of value into this transaction, into your home? Most of the time, they're going to say no. They just think it's doing this, and doing that. But instead, you can say, hey, instead of fixing that over there, actually, if you just go ahead and put a little bit more money into the kitchen or into this or into that, that's where you'll go ahead and you'll get the most return. Right? Also, get the listing agreement signed. So you get the listing agreement signed, but you become the expert in helping them create more value in their home by not having them spend too much time or too much money doing things to their house that don't need to be done. Right? So listing agreement signed, and then help them with the process of getting it done. Right? Be the person that, if they're going to be hiring a contractor, hiring a landscaper, you should have these people in your strategic alliances, because if they're using your contractor, they're using your landscaper, they're using your this, you're that, guess what? Now you're going to be front of mind, and they're going to come back to you versus go with somebody else more than likely to list. But if you just separate yourself and allow them, well, somebody's probably going to call them in the meantime, and someone's going to build rapport in the meantime, and somebody's going to go ahead and step up and be that person to show them what they need to get done to bring the most amount of value, and then that person is going to get the deal done. So listing agreement accompanied with telling them and advising them what needs to get done to bring the most amount of value into their house, to up their price. And then be the person that, if the things need to get done outside of what they can do, any contractor work, painter, landscaping, you have them in your strategic alliance and you connect them. Does that help, Diana? Can we get the scripts on past topics from email address you gave us earlier? Yeah. So, Dell, when you email training@cincpro.com, you will go ahead and whatever you need, just reach out to them, and then they'll get you the scripts on the buy side as well. Yeah, the buy side scripts they have, they'll send it out to you. What else, guys? What questions do you have? Once again, if you need me outside of this, please hit me up on Instagram and just reach out to me with anything you have. I'm also putting in here my podcast. So if anybody listens to podcasts, you could go ahead and listen to mine on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, but it's called Power of Progression. Power of Progression. We're actually releasing one this week called Why Is This Happening to Me? It's a really good one. Really good one. All right. So let's see. Maggie asked, prospect indicated that many agents have called or stopped by already. And when she's ready, I'll call one of you. How do you convince them that you are the agent they want? Maggie, great question. Be more valuable. What the hell does that mean, John? It means create a solution to their problem. Well, how do I do that? Well, you ask better questions to unpack their true problem so you can create a real solution. So here's the thing. I'll call one of you. It's mainly because they don't see value in real estate agents, right? I'll call any of you guys. Any of you guys can do it. That's the way they feel, right? That's the way they feel. But if you step in and say, hey, look, I just want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy for the right time. Right, Maggie, I'm not going to ask you to go sell your home tomorrow. I'm not going to do that. I just want to make sure that when that time does come, that you get that right person and you trust and understand their strategy to help you get top dollar and sell your home for faster. Does that make sense? That makes sense. So let's take a step back. We're not talking about listing your house, but tell me, why are you considering putting your house on the market? Oh, I want to go ahead and I just want to move away from this area. Interesting. Why is that? Well, the crime's getting bad, or too many people are moving in here, or now too many renters. Interesting. Okay. And what else? Well, these renters, their kids are, all over the place and this. So you want to just stop, take a step back, and ask better questions to get better results. Ask better questions to get better results. Does that help, Maggie? But once again, it's like, hey, I'm not going to ask you to go sell your house tomorrow. I just want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy for the right time. Is that fair? Yeah, it's fair. So let's pull back for a second. Let's first figure out, why are you considering selling your house? Well, it's because of this. And then don't stop there. Dig that knife in, right? Dig that knife in. Jason said, what's a great percentage for contact to appointment set? So it depends on the lead source, Jason. Depends on the source of where you got that lead. So is it from Google, right? Is it from Facebook? Is it a Zillow lead? Is it a Realtor.com lead? Is it from HomeBot? Is it from this? Is it from that? Like, what is it from, right? Is it circle prospecting? So it varies. Here's what we know on the buy side. With us doing our live training, we have probably, I would think we're almost 7,500 people now that have been through our training. We have a total of a 33% conversion rate. 33% conversion rate. So that's contact to appointment set. So, just like I said, I mean, it's if you are seriously wanting to grow your conversion rate, there's so many different things, from what you do prior to what you do while you're on it, right? To getting the right training. So on here is great, but have you also been to one of our live events? Right? Have you been to one of our live events? Speaking of live events, here, I'm going to send you guys this. I'm going to put this in. So we are having a virtual mastermind. So we're having a virtual mastermind where we're going to have John Mikish talk about how he is attracting agents and making them massively productive with his method of 100K guarantee. And now there's many ways to chop it up, but I promise you, if you join this, it's a free virtual mastermind. We've never done this before. We always have our masterminds in locations, but we wanted to do a mini 90-minute mastermind. John Mikish will walk us through that, but we're also going to allow enough time to unpack anything that you guys have a problem with or have an issue with or a challenge with. And this isn't like coming here and figuring out how to do labels. Don't come to the mastermind and try to figure out, how to create drip campaigns. This is higher level stuff. So if you are a CINC owner, click that link I just put in there. If you're a CINC platform owner, click that link and join us. It's absolutely free. We're doing it June 28th, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock Central, 11 Eastern. So click that link I just put in there if you want to join our free virtual mastermind if you are a platform owner. So definitely go ahead and join us. So what other questions? We got about 8 minutes left. Do you guys have any other questions? And as I said before, if you need me outside of this, at Real John Marrone on Instagram, at Real John Marrone on Instagram, reach out to me. I'm here to help anything, whether it's on the conversion side, mindset side, productivity side, whatever it might be. Any other questions? Okay, while you guys are thinking of some questions to finish this up, I want to know, what were some of your takeaways today? Any takeaways, drop into the chat. I want to see what landed for you guys. I have a training that day. Is it going to be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded, but I highly suggest getting on there live if you can, just to ask questions live, obviously. Let's see. So what are some of your takeaways, guys? Drop them in there. Let's see. I want to see what hit home today. Get out of your own way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get out of your own way. Allow the universe to do its job, please. I'm telling you this because I've been that person who's the biggest dream killer in my life. I've been the person who wouldn't get out of my own way. I'm going to add asking them why they would sell if they were to sell. It's a great question. And remember, house, not home, right? Why they would sell their house. We want to pull the emotion out of it. This is my first meeting. How can I learn about using the platform my agency is using? So Dell, just reach out to training at cincpro.com and you should have a process where they'll set you up with walking you through it. We also have live events as well. Better questions gets better results. Yes, take out excuses. Here's the thing. Like it's, sometimes it's not even like getting rid of the excuses because we all are always going to have them. It's understanding that that excuse is there because of fear, and fear is there to shine light into what we need to work on most. One more time for you. It's not about getting rid of the excuse immediately. That excuse can be a trigger in a very good and powerful way. So it's seeing the excuse, knowing that it's fear-based, and knowing that that fear is actually supposed to be shining light into where we need improvement, where we need to work through, not go around. Do you have scripts for following up with old leads? I haven't answered, logged in, 1+ years. Same thing. So if it's on the buy side, it's the normal buyer script, which we go over here every other Monday for the most part. But if they've been in your system for 1 day or 1 year or 10 years, if you haven't talked to them, it'd be the same script. Because remember, they're in a bunch of different sites. They're going in a bunch of different times. Only obstacle you have to get through is the one you create yourself. That is right. Universe is a mirror to your thoughts. Let's see. Use probing questions to gain more information, discover true reason. Listen, John and everybody on here. 3 whys deep for every what. 3 whys for every what. I call it staying in a pocket. I want to see if there's pain or pleasure there. If you tell me you need 4 bedrooms, I'm not going to say, okay, perfect. What location? Interesting. Why 4 bedrooms? Well, because of da-da-da-da. Extract information, build a conversation. So what would that do for you to have your own office space and the kids have their own room? Oh my gosh, it would do wonders. It would be a lot more peaceful in the house. It would do this, that, and the next thing. So remember, 3 whys deep for every what. Adriana just registered for the free event. Love it. And if you want to come to the non event that's virtual, you want to come to Nashville. If you want to come to Nashville and be in a room with us for 2 days, go ahead and on that link too, you can go ahead and get your spot for Nashville. I think we got like 25% of tickets left for it. We're only having 40 people or 35 people in each room. So I think we have about 7-8 tickets left. Where's the link for Nashville? Right here. You have to qualify though. So there's going to be a application you're going to fill out. So I just put in there cincommunity.com/mastermind CINC.com/mastermind. CINCcommunity.com/mastermind. But I just dropped it in here again. So you should see it, guys. And that's once again, there is an application process. We want to make sure that if you attend, we know who's in that room. So there's a whole application process. And if you get approved for it, boom, we'll get you in one of those rooms. Stan says, what's a good average for lead to sales, 3% or 5%? Once again, Stan kind of goes to the type of lead you're getting, right? What's the source? 5% is great. Yeah, 7%. We see people 2 to 3% on internet, like a Facebook or Google lead. Ours are when you come to our training, we'll show you how to do 33%. So that's 1 out of every 3 people you set an appointment. 1 out of every 3 people you set an appointment. We've proven that for 7,500 agents. What's the best lead source? That's the topic I don't want to get into, my brother, because it depends on your lead, your team size, your market, what's your structure when attacking that lead when you get it. What's the system and process you have for the follow-up side of it. So that's a loaded question, my man. If I could answer in one simple sentence, I totally would, but unfortunately I cannot. Who's speaking at the virtual mini mastermind? So John Mikish is going to be speaking, and then I'll be moderating it. So I'll be speaking as well, but John Mikish is the actual topic leader, and then I'll moderate the rest of it. All right, guys, we're about to be wrapped up here. If you guys got value, please go ahead and just let us know, right? Whether it's on Facebook or if you go to my Instagram and you let me know, that's great too. I just want to make sure that you guys are getting value on these calls every other Monday. We also have our events that are coming up. So come hang out with us. Like I'll be in Phoenix next week for Conversion Day for CINC. A couple weeks after that, I'll be in Atlanta. So love to meet you guys in person. But if not, then definitely hit up my podcast, Power of Progression. And then hit me up on IG if you need anything. But hopefully I'll see you guys in person at one of our locations. So appreciate you. Thank you so much. Keep crushing it. And if I don't see you, if I don't hear from you, then keep creating the ultimate version of you and your business. See you guys soon.